What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today. Today we have massive unboxing number 36 for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's videos. Today we have a very exciting massive unboxing store for you guys. We got new GeminiJets NG models and all kinds of brands here in today's massive unboxing. I really hope you guys are excited for this, and without any further delay, let's go ahead and get into this, everybody. Alrighty, everybody, here we go into this massive box as we have several new models in here. Like I said, GeminiJets NG models and many more. Want to give a huge shout out to the Midwest Model Store. They do a great job, and I love ordering from them because they got great customer service, pretty solid prices, and overall a really great store. So definitely check them out if you haven't already. And as you can see here, they certainly pack these boxes well as I struggle to get into it. But as we get it open here, let's go ahead and get started. I'll leave them all as a surprise to kind of change it up this time instead of looking at them through the box. And let's go ahead and get into it, everybody. But I don't know exactly what's in here, so what I'm going to do is I'll give you my initial impression behind the camera because I kind of forgot since it's been so long. So let's go ahead and get in here, everybody. Alrighty, everybody, let's go ahead and get started. So let's start with the first and only NG model today, and that's going to be the NG models 1-400 scale Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700 in the Illinois 1 livery. So as you guys may know, I do have the Panda models aircraft, but I thought this one turned out really good, and I thought it would be a good counterpart there. I probably will go ahead and sell the Panda, but this will be a great addition to the collection here. I'm very excited to have this one, so let's go ahead and get started. Boeing 737-700, here's the Lone Star flag, as you can see right here. Here's the CGI. Southwest registration November 931 Whiskey November. Of course, you got the Boeing trademark, Lone Star 1 NG models, all that fun stuff. So NG really going on a tear here with the Southwest special liveries. They've done several and continue to do a bunch of them, especially on the 800 and Max 8 variants. So it's been really cool to see that, and very excited to have the 700 here in the collection once again from NG models. So without any further delay, the only one of today's video, let's go ahead and get it out and see what it is all about, as it's looking absolutely fantastic so far. Look at that, very nice. Also, it appears that the 737-700 cradle has changed. That appears to be a more rigid design there, as you can see with the elevated plastic here to keep more in place. I think that's a really good move. You can see right there how it fits in right there. So that looks really nice, and I think that's a really solid addition here to the packaging here for NG models. Alrighty, everybody, and here we go for the NG models. 1-400 scale Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700 in the Lone Star 1 livery. What a great looking aircraft this is. This looks really, really nice. Good job here by NG models, and let's go ahead and get into it, everybody. Alrighty, everybody, so here we go. So here we have the cockpit windows along with the nose cone that look really good here on the 737-700 mold for NG models. You got the Lone Star 1 decal, and starting with the navy kind of makes it hard to see the fuselage, but here you just have some pitot tubes and everything. Here's your nose landing gear door also looking really good here. Here's the L1 door along with the Lone Star star right there, which looks absolutely fantastic. So really cool to see that, in the Southwest heart there too. As we transition into the middle of the fuselage here, you can see the white top of the flag and then the red that kind of swooped down to represent Texas there. Really cool in the engine how it's half-half. I think that looks really cool, so good part there by Southwest for representing that. You got a beacon and antenna along with the emergency exit pad there for the emergency exit door. There's the main landing gear as well, and here's the wing. Really nice detail there as per usual for NG on the flap slats and speed brakes. It looks really good, and they did a outstanding job there. You have two antennas there on the bottom, which also look really good, and the Wi-Fi box, of course. And then the red swoops underneath that L2 door for registration November 931 Whiskey November. And the beautiful Southwest Airlines tail. Good job here. The yellow seems kind of different. They've kind of been all over the place with that yellow shade. I noticed this also on some of the other special liveries, but it's certainly not the end of the world, as it does look like Southwest to me, so not too bad at all. Right side of the aircraft's also very solid, but you do have a cargo door right there, and you also got one here in the back as well. Top of the aircraft is really nicely detailed. You got various details there that make that really nice, so very cool to see that. And the bottom of the aircraft also really nice. The one major drawback there, that 737 mold for NG, is there's no stand hole at all, but it's okay, as the rest of the aircraft, in my opinion, makes up for that one, not defect, but missing feature, I think would be the right ways to phrase that. So really cool model. This is a really cool one to have. Great job by NG, and certainly more NGs to come here in the near future, so stay on the lookout for it. Alrighty, everybody, so let's go on a massive tear here of GeminiJets models. So starting right here, finally getting these April releases. It took quite some time here, but really excited to finally have these in my collection. So starting right here, we have the GeminiJets 1-400 scale Republic Airways Ember 175 in their house liveries. So really excited to have all these April releases. You guys will see which ones I end up getting, but I end up getting quite a few. And it's really exciting, as the last massive unboxing, the modern one, that would have been 33, since we had the Airliners video and the retro one before that. Those 33 had a bunch bunch of NGs in it, so it's really nice to kind of change it up here and get a bunch of Geminis in this one. So this is a really good release right here. I'm very excited to get into this. I know it's probably a little bit old news since it came out all the way back in April, but nevertheless, we do have it here now, and I'm excited to get into it. It's a very standard GeminiJets box. Really cool to see the Republic house livery here and also their titles there. And as you can see here, you got all the various details here on the sides of the box, along with the top and bottom as well. So that all looks really good. Back of the box, of course, this is a 2023 release, so good job on them for representing that. And it looks like a little bit of tape wore off there, which is absolutely no problem at all. Here's the pamphlet, as you can see, with the details here regarding the 175, and here is the aircraft itself. So let's go ahead, get this out, and see what it's all about. The closest that we have to a realistic American 175 with slanted winglets. Looking really good. Alrighty, everybody, and here we go for the Republic Airways 1:400 scale, or I guess GeminiJets 1:400 scale. But anyways, this is the Republic Airways Embraer 175 with normal winglets. So as I was just getting at here, this is a really cool model, as American Airlines has several of these in the normal livery, but of course they do have a couple of them in this house livery. So this is the closest we've got to a realistic Republic normal winglet American 175, so this will be a great way to utilize it, and I'm really excited to have this in the fleet here. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get into it. Alrighty, everybody, here we go. So we got the cockpit windows along right here, along with the nose cone. Then you got some pitot 2 detail in the radar dome. You got the L1 door right there, along with the nose landing gear door. Not too bad for the size of the model. Pretty good representation there. The Republic Airways titles, and of course, every single subsidiary's house livery is pretty standard. We do have a couple of kinks on this one though, including the Navy engines, which look really nice there. And of course, no emergency exit, just some really good detail there for the flap slats and speed brakes. They did a good job here on this 175. Of course, you have a couple of first class seats that transition into a couple economy plus before getting into straight economy. Registration on this aircraft with the US flag there is November 402 Yankee X-ray. And of course, you have the red cheat line that fades into the or I guess it doesn't fade, but you know, goes straight into the navy there. Really dark shade of navy, I believe. And of course, you got the rjet.com and the Republic logo there with the stars and everything, which looks really nice. APU, horizontal stabilizers, you name it. Right side of the aircraft is also really nice. You can see how the door is smaller on this side, which is really cool, along with the baggage doors there in the front and back. A really good detail right here as well. I've not seen that on a regional jet yet, so that's really cool to see that they're really getting into the details there on the wing root. Top of the aircraft looks really nice there. You can see some various details with the beacon and everything. And the bottom also looks really good. Really solid job there in the middle, as you can see, with some great various details like air inlets and whatnot. That's really solid. And the GeminiJets logo and everything that one could want. So again, this will be great to finally have a 175 for Republic that's not like technically an American Airlines one, but still kind of is. So this will be great to utilize, like the Tulsa service to Chicago. Seen this quite a bit. And there's other services around that I've had to substitute the 170 with. So this will be a great opportunity to finally have something that's at least realistic. So I'm very excited to have this. Hopefully it will be followed by a normal winglet American 175 in the future, but nevertheless, this is great. Really excited to have this, and this will be a great asset here for the collection. Alrighty, everybody, the international fleet continues to grow, and I am really excited to have this aircraft. Right here we have the GeminiJets 1:400 scale ITA Airways Airbus A330-200. Very excited to have this aircraft for a variety of reasons. So first and foremost, I believe this is my first aircraft from the country of Italy whatsoever, so that's really exciting. And not only that, but I got to see this aircraft up close and personal at the Miami International Airport earlier this year. It was absolutely majestic, for lack of a better phrase. It was so cool to see that land with the blue livery just kind of transcribing all the way across the sunlight. It was so cool. It's a really good looking plane, and even with the A330 mold for GeminiJets, which I think is a pretty solid offering, maybe not the best in the world, but still really solid. I could not pass up the opportunity when this came out. I was like, I was really on the fence. I was like, you know, with the mold and everything, but then I was like, you know, it's ITA 330, something that I would love to have for the collection. Why don't we go ahead and snag it? And that's exactly what we did. Another very standard box here for GeminiJets. You're not going to be seeing many changes with this one. Again, sides of the box, bottom and everything, pretty standard. This is another 2023 release in that same release set there. Again, really cool model for a variety of reasons, and we'll be able to see that as we open the pamphlet. That's a beautiful shade of blue. Here is the information there on the 330. I ironically said in the, I think it was the last massive unboxing, because I was getting out the Air TD Nui 787-9. I was like, I really want to continue to build up my international fleet, but I keep getting so many Dreamliners. But finally here, this wasn't even planned. I just now thought of it. I finally got myself an A330 here. So this is a really cool moment too, because I don't think I got many international 330s at all, if any, which is really cool. So this is a really great pickup here for the collection, and really will have a great role at great planes. And wherever wherever it may take it, and who knows, maybe they start flying to Dallas sometime. I think they that's one of their target destinations in the future. So let's see how this A330 turned out here from GeminiJets. I don't have a ton of these, so ooh, that is a really cool shade of blue. And typically I would give some constructive criticism to the gloss there, but I think the gloss is actually supposed to be there. Now, this model does have some significant wing flex, there's no doubt about it, but I am really liking this for a variety of reasons. So I'm going to put this down and show you why I'm liking it, as this is a really good look here for various reasons. Alrighty, everybody, and here we go for the GeminiJets 1:400 scale ITA Airways Airbus A330-200 in the current livery. What a good looking aircraft this is. Very excited to have it. It does have one major issue that just is screaming in my face, but outside of that, the color is beautiful. It's a really sharp looking livery, and I'm certainly very glad to have this one in the collection. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and take a look at this aircraft. Alrighty, everybody, so here we go. So here's the cockpit windows along with the nose cone. I think it looks pretty good. The engine one's probably a little bit better, but certainly pretty good there, so can't complain with that. Really cool sticker right here. I think it says like Monza 100 or something like that. I can't read it from here, so I apologize, but certainly a very cool sticker right there, nevertheless, with the green and the red right there. They are part of the SkyTeam Alliance, so that's really cool to see the SkyTeam logo right there. And then, of course, you got the L1 door right there in the antenna for the ITA Airways billboard title. So how good looking is that? There's your nose landing gear as well. That also looks really good. And then you have the L2 door right there. And as for the shade of blue, so it looks really nice because this is kind of what it reminded me of in real life. So you're going to see here where I turned the aircraft, you can see the blue kind of borderline change shades in the gloss. Now, in real life, it appeared to me that it had some sort of ring to it. I don't know if it would be gloss particularly is the right word or whatever you'd like to call it, but it seemed like it was kind of like this. So honestly, I really dig it, even if it wasn't intentional for GeminiJets, which it probably wasn't, but you can certainly see the really nice fractions of paint right there, really illuminating well with this shade of blue. I think it looks really good. But again, you have the L1 and L2 doors and some additional details down here, like these little panels and everything that look really nice on this aircraft. As we scoot along here into the middle of the aircraft, of course, it's pretty blank, but you'd have your first class up there, some business, and back here into economy plus, or premium economy in this case probably, and then economy. So looking really good there on that. And then, of course, you have the engines right here that look really nice. Pretty nicely shaped, and overall a really good effort there. There's the fan blades. If I can get a decent view there, kind of have to go for a 360 there to get them all. So looking good there, as you can see. Now, you can certainly see the wing flex even looking at it from this angle, but I'm going to give you a more distinctive angle here in a moment. But outside that, the wings are really nicely detailed here with the flap slats and speed brakes. You can also see that the main landing gear also look pretty good, and they do pivot, which is nice. A little clunky in some places you can see, but not too bad, and certainly not something to complain about in my opinion. Here's the L3 door. You can also see the great detail with the lever and the window and everything there, so that looks really nice. Rounding out economy here, where you have 2 antennas and a Wi-Fi box that look really good. Registration is Echo India Echo Julia Papa. I believe I saw In-Flight 200 did it, and I can't think of it. Of course I can't. Maybe it was Golf. I'm thinking it was Golf. I'm thinking I saw Golf. Echo India, Echo Juliet Golf, but can't confirm for sure off the top of my head. But there's the L4 door and the beautiful ITA tail. You can see all those various panels there, which is really cool here on the backside of the aircraft, so that's really cool. And then, of course, you got the Italy flag there with the Rome flag, excuse me, not Italy, with the green, white, and red. I always think of Rome when it comes to Italy, so apologies there. But nevertheless, right side of the aircraft's also really good. A very distinctive cargo door, as you can see right there, so that looks really great, along with the panels on that side as well that are a different color, which is pretty interesting. And then, of course, you got the back panel there, some sort of writing there maybe, or some sort of panel. Let me point to what I'm referring to. This piece right here, which is really cool, but nevertheless looks really great, and they got a bunch of various details going here. So in terms of the wing flex, here it is straight up. You can certainly see where it presides at, especially on that left side here. Here's the back perspective. You can certainly see where that certainly has a bunch of wing flex right there. And then sitting down, you can kind of see, I'll even try to lower the camera here real quick so you can see what I'm referring to. Actually, I'll go handheld so you can kind of see it here. Hate going handheld because I know it's not the best viewing experience, but in this case, kind of need to show this off. So you can see I'm getting even with it. You can certainly see where it's much higher there, especially on the left side, which of course it's not supposed to be, but that's just kind of the way it is on this one. So can't complain too much with it. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. Outside that, I think they did a really great job with the color. I'm certainly very excited to add to my international fleet. Sure, it's probably not the world's highest quality model. I think that goes without saying, but it certainly has a special meaning to me. And I think that a really good one as my camera dies, in fact. So really cool model right there. Very excited to have that one. That's a great addition to the fleet. I think we did a really good job there. So very glad to have that one. And let's go ahead and get into our next model. So I've thought about getting one of these for quite some time, and I'm really glad that it finally happened here with this Dyess Air Force Base example, kind of giving a hint there. It was a recent release, but I'm really excited to finally have this one. It's really, really cool. Got to see one static at Tinker Air Force Base very recently, and it's a really cool plane. I hope to finally get to see it fly for the first time at some point. But nevertheless, this new model for the collection, yes, another new model, another brand new aircraft type, and I believe I have one other from Dyess Air Force Base, but it kind of speaks for itself. This is going to be the B1 Lancer, Rockwell B1 Lancer for Dyess Air Force Base. So really excited to have my very first B1 here. I think it's a really cool aircraft. I have a bunch of other aircraft I would like to get, like a C5 and what others was I thinking of? A B2, you know, a long list of aircraft that I'd really like to start expanding my military fleet into, but I think this is a really good start with this Dyess B1. So very excited to have this from GeminiJets Max. It looks like a really good model here, and I'm very excited to have it. So of course you got the Gemini Max logo, made for collectors by collectors, CGI. Here's the slogan there, along with the 345th Bomber Squadron, which is really cool to see. You got the Eagle there and the missiles. That looks really cool. Dyess Air Force Base, Rockwell B1 Lancer. The Gemini Max boxes stayed pretty standard over the years in terms of this pattern design that looks like a tool case, so that's pretty cool. Back of the box, 2023 release once again, and yes, really excited to have my very first B1. Here it is right here, as you can see, and there it is on the inside. So let's go ahead, not waste any further time, and get into the B1 Lancer. Here we go. Again, very excited to continue to build on my military fleet. It was a really fun experience at the Tinker Air Force Base show for the first time recently, and here it is right here. No way the wings expanded. The wings, oh, they do. Wow, that's fantastic. I did not know that the wings expanded on this mold. How cool is that? So a B1 with closing and opening wings. That is super, super, super cool. Well done, GeminiJets. I should have known better, but this is really cool because I've always seen it configured like this for pictures, but no, it expands and it actually goes into a wing out configuration. So how cool is that? I've never got to see one like this. I've always got to see them like this. So hopefully finally we'll be able to change that and get it like this, but this is really cool and it's pretty fluid too. So how cool is that? Very excited to have this model. Let's go ahead and take a look at it, everybody. Alrighty, everybody, and here we go for the Gemini Max 1/400 scale Dyess Air Force Base B1 Lancer. Very excited to have this aircraft. This will be a really cool component to the collection. I'll be excited to see where I can sneak this in airport updates. A really cool model, and very excited to have this one in the collection. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, everybody, so here we go. So here's the nose cone, as you can see, really nice and extended there. That's a really, really cool, looking great. And just some various elements here, like this piece, and then nose landing gear door, nose landing gear. Here's the cockpit, looking really cool. What a unique design here. You can start to see with all the various panels and everything how cool this is. So here's 6 of them right here, and some sort of probably squadron logo would be a guess. I'm not completely sure. Really cool to see this piece engraved on there. That's really cool. So that's very neat. The nose landing gear also looks really good once again. So really cool to see that. And then you get the various panels on top. 2 of them here, like actually engraved, so you can fill them. These 2, of course, printed, which looks really nice right there. So that's really cool. And again, more various parts there. You can really see how much time they spent on the mold, making it the obvious creases on there. So that's really cool. There's the main landing gear. They look really nice on there as well. So that's really cool to see. So of course you got 2 sets of 4 there to make it pretty standard. Some more detail on the top here, and then definitely my favorite part, not even a question, is the feature that these wings can open and close. So you can see here with their full out position what it looks like. So as you can see, nice little hold there, but not too noticeable whatsoever. The wings look really, really, really cool in their full outright position, where you see the speed brakes, flaps, all the great detail. You have all the logos, everything that one could want. Same for the underside, which is pretty plain, but you do have the flaps, which is what matters, and that's what's there. So, and then of course you can tighten them up just like that, but when they come out you can lock them into place so they're not, you know, as easily, you know, I can knock it a little bit, which it's going to move a little bit, but as long as, you know, it's not going to be just falling by itself, it's going to stay in place. So, and you see the really cool mechanism there that closes it. So that's really cool. So, and then they fold right back into place, as you can see right here too, which is very, very cool. And one of the coolest features, certainly, of the B1 Lancer. You can see some more indentations back there too, which is really nice. And then all the detail back there on the bottom right there, which is really cool. Really, really good detail. They did a great job here detailing this. There's even a stand hold down there. How about that? And of course, you got the horizontal stabilizers. Kind of reminds me of a Falcon like 8X in terms of tail design, kind of interesting. And of course, you got the Dyess Air Force Base DY right there, and the 345th Squadron right there, and then the registration number portion that they put on there, which is really cool, and all the other various details. Right side of the aircraft's also fantastic. You can see this side has a blue logo, which is really cool, along with some other great various details, but of course pretty similar. The engines also really cool down there. 4 engines right there, very powerful, and I'm sure they do a great job there, which is absolutely fantastic. Top of the aircraft is very nice. You can see all those details I was pointing out to you, along with that yellow piece right there, which is really nice. So that is very cool. And the bottom of the aircraft also looks really good. Again, you got that stand hole and the landing gear and all those various assets. This piece is also really nice. It looks like it's about to open like a C-17 door, but it's not a door, of course. And then here's the wings from the other side. You can see where those open up nicely, and they're I guess they do fall by themselves with gravity if you don't get them locked in very good. But you see, have to get them locked in like that. Sometimes they can kind of fall out of that, but if you get them locked in good, then they're not going to be falling out. In this case, it even extended a little too far. You can see where you can get it to go too far sometimes like that, which is not what you want. You want them right there. So very good technology, and really cool to see that. So really cool airplane. Certainly very glad to have it. Put the wings out here to kind of give us a different look. I think this is a really cool model, a very unique addition to the collection. The military and cargo elements certainly getting better by the day, which is really cool. So you got to get it fully locked in there, and as you can see, it's not really jerking around any now that I got it fully locked into place. But if you only have it kind of like that, then it'll easily fall back. But one more time to get it fully locked so you can see what I'm referring to. You have to get it like really nicely locked. It's kind of weird, but nevertheless, it ends up working at some point. But very cool model. Very excited to have this one, and this will be a great addition here for the military fleet. Alrighty, everybody, our next model, please no political comments. I would very much appreciate it. I'll explain the reason why I chose to get this aircraft. But right here, we have the GeminiJets 1-400 Trump Boeing 757-200. Now, again, please no political talk in the comments. I would really appreciate it. The reason I chose to get this aircraft is actually because I got to see this aircraft at Tulsa National Airport March 18, 2023. It was really cool to get to see this aircraft. The actual aircraft itself looks absolutely fantastic. And again, please no political discussion. I would very much appreciate it. This is solely for the purpose of the airplane and not the individual associated with it. So again, this is a really great looking airplane, key emphasis there. And I think this is a really great addition there in terms of how cool the livery looks and just ultimately the 757 itself. So let's go ahead and get into it. GeminiJets made for collectors by collectors. Here's the aircraft itself, Boeing 757-200, and of course you got the big Trump in gold there. And again, once again, it's not no affiliation with the person for why I got this aircraft, but furthermore the actual aircraft itself, seeing it at Tulsa International Airport, and also just how nice the actual airplane looks. It looks really cool. I think they did a great job with the model representation here. 2023 release, of course. Here's the pamphlet inside, as you can see, with the various details, and here's the aircraft itself. Very excited to have this one, especially after somehow pulling it off, seeing it after my Cabo, Mexico trip earlier this year. Pretty crazy, if I'm being completely honest, and GeminiJets always does a really good 757, and I don't think that's going to change with this one. Goodness gracious. It's just so nice. Look at that. Alrighty, everybody, and here we have the GeminiJets 1-400 scale Trump Boeing 757-200. What a good looking aircraft. So excited to have this one for the sentimental value. It is a really cool aircraft, considering that I got to see it in Tulsa in March of 2023. Great looking aircraft. Very excited to have this one. Let's go ahead and dive into the details. Alrighty, everybody, here we go. So here's the cockpit windows along with the nose cone. Gemini's always had a pretty solid 757 nose cone, no changes here. And of course, you got the various colors here on the cheat lines, from this orangish one to the red and to the maroon. So very cool to get to see those colors meshing right there. Here's the L1 door, and sorry, that's kind of hard to see. Maybe if I tilt it up, you can see it a little bit better. L1 door in the nose landing gear door also look really nice. You can see the panels, and then of course you got the Trump billboard titles right there. And then of course, I have no idea how this plane's configured on the inside, but I'm sure there's seats in kind of equally distributed parts of the aircraft, so looking good there. There's the L2 door, and then of course you got the various antennas that are really hard to see, so let me kind of angle it so you can see one here where a normal 757 would have one, yet another one in the middle here, which is uncharacteristic for 757. So very cool to get to see that additional antenna there. And the one-piece mold continues to go really strong. It's very hard to tell this one, so that looks really nice. Really cool to see the RB211s on this guy. I think that looks really nice. A good job there to represent those. I also really noticed in real life how obvious the silver cowling of the engine was. It was really present, so really cool to get to see them representing that here on the model, which is really cool. It doesn't quite pop as much as what you would see in real life, but it still looks really good from this perspective. There's the main landing gear as well. They look really great. And of course, you got the winglet that looks beautiful, and the flap slat and speed brake detail there on the wing, which also looks absolutely fantastic. You're going to find another door right there to make it a Gen 1 aircraft. Very challenging to see, but it's right there. I think there's a door. Yes, okay. It's very, very hard to see, but there is a door right there. So there is a door along with the some sort of Wi-Fi box, I would presume is what it is, or something like that. Yet another antenna, and then the registration November 757 Alpha Foxtrot. L4 door. And then you've got the beautiful tail there with the US flag. I think that looks really cool. Of course, the previous one had it nice and flat. This one has it curved, which I think looks really cool. Horizontal stabilizer, APU, all the applicable details and beyond. Right side of the aircraft's also really nice. You got the cargo door there in the front, and the cargo door there in the back, and everything in between. Top of the aircraft, of course, looks really nice. You got the various elements up there that make it look absolutely fantastic. In the bottom, it does have a stand hole. Interesting to note, no GeminiJets logo on this. I am seeing that correctly. There is not a GeminiJets logo on the bottom of this aircraft. That is, I believe, the first time I've ever seen that. I want to make sure that the box has GeminiJets branded all over it, yet the bottom of the model airplane does not have GeminiJets branded on it, which is understandable considering the circumstances. I think that kind of makes sense, but it's still interesting that you'd brand the box that much, yet not even put it on the bottom of the model at that point. So kind of interesting for sure there. I mean, I can kind of understand it, but it's certainly interesting that you go put it on the box, yet not put it on the bottom of the model airplane itself. Again, the reason I got this aircraft was solely for the reason of seeing it and the value there, not the individual associated with it. So again, it's a great looking airplane, keyword, great looking airplane, and really excited to have it in the fleet. A very cool model, and I'll be eager to see where I can utilize this in my model airport. So really cool plane, beautiful, beautiful livery, and very glad to have it in the collection. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this one I've been waiting on for a really, really, really long time. I think it's been almost 3 years of thinking about it, and really 2 years of realistic thoughts of it coming out. I've really been looking forward to this aircraft. This one that I've been talking about for quite some time, well over 2 years at this point. I've mentioned it many times, made many references. I'm really excited to finally have it in the fleet. It's a really, really good looking airplane, and it's about time that GeminiJets finally did it here, and that's exactly what they did with this aircraft. That's going to be none other than the 1/400 scale JetBlue Airways Airbus A220-300. Finally, about time. So as you know, this aircraft went back into service, I believe it was like early 2021 or sometime, but I remember making the video on it in late 2020, and I was like, please, GeminiJets, make the model. And typically what they've done with these really popular airline aircraft duos is they would make a prototype version and then release a more formal version. They've done it with like the Delta A220, and even as far as the American 777 about 10 years ago, 300 ER that is, they went as far as to do a chrome one before they knew about the livery change. And here we go with the JetBlue A220-300 not being one of those, ended up being a release later on. But the good news is they finally released it, and it's a really great model, and again, very excited to have it. Unfortunately, nothing crazy go on with the box here, so I apologize. That's typically what you're going to find here with GeminiJets, but the next model that I have here is going to be a great grand finale. I know, only 7 models in here. I really can't believe it, but you'll see why here with this last one. I really wanted this one that's coming up. So, but nevertheless, this is a really great addition. Again, really excited to have it for the fleet. Really going to add to the JetBlue variety here, and really excited to get more A220s. And they're going to be a little bit limited here in the U.S. for the immediate future, as we got Delta, JetBlue, Breeze as the big 3 on the 220. So very excited to finally complete that trio and have this model for various projects. They fly to Dallas quite a bit, and I'm sure they'll fly to more additional airports. I think even Albuquerque and Reno got them there for a while. So very excited to see how I can utilize this aircraft in the future, and it'll be a great addition here once again for the collection. Let's go ahead and get it out here and see what the JetBlue A220-300 is all about with the balloons, or sorry, the hops tail, excuse me. It's been one of those days, just because of how much has been going on lately. What a good looking aircraft it is. I'm very excited to have this one in the fleet. This will be a great addition for various reasons. Alrighty, everybody, and here we have the GeminiJets 1/400 scale JetBlue Airways Airbus A220-300 with the hops tail. What a cool model this is. Really excited to have this one in the collection. This is a really good looking airplane, and I'm so excited to have this. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, everybody, so here we go. So here we have the cockpit windows along with the nose looking really nice right here. Of course, you got your various pitot tubes and panels and whatnot, looking very good right there. There's nose landing gear, nose landing gear door. It stands a little tall, but not too bad. It's certainly grown on me. I appreciate their efforts to try to fix the plastic that they had on there previously, but they overshot just a little bit. So maybe in the future, perhaps they can work on bringing that down just a little bit to make it perfection. Here's the L1 door, and of course you got some sort of JetBlue logo right there in the FlyFi logo. That looks fantastic. Here's the JetBlue billboard titles. Of course, JetBlue has their first class on this aircraft, and then you're going to find some economy plus and economy, which is really cool. Looks really nice right here. Here's the first antenna, and of course you got the engine, which is slanted up just a little bit too much, but not too bad. Of course you got jetblue.com on there as well, in the leading edge of the wing right there too. You have the flap slats and speed brakes, and of course the very unique A220 winglets, which look really cool. The inside on that side is definitely my favorite. That is really cool to look at. So really nice job there by JetBlue for representing that on this aircraft. You also got the main landing gear there, and the emergency exit slide also looking really good. Very narrow here on the 220, but not bad at all. Of course, you have kind of the root, what would look like a one-piece mold, but it's actually a two-piece mold, which is kind of interesting. It has that interesting indentation. I think it's probably off of Herpa or something. I'm not exactly sure, but certainly very cool to see that at the very least. Also, note the emergency exit detail. That's really, really fantastic. You're going to have two more antennas and a Wi-Fi box. Registration November 3044 Juliet. And of course, you have the Airbus A220-300 down there and something that got stuck on there, but nevertheless, it doesn't look too bad right there. Is that supposed to be on there? It's some sort of like little gray speck. I don't think it's supposed to be on there. It might be in a panel, honestly. I'm not sure. I'm referring to that little speck right there. But nevertheless, can't hurt. Here's the some more panels, and then of course the beautiful Hobbs tail looks absolutely fantastic. Let me see if I can get it in focus here. What a beautiful tail. Really like the colors on that. They did a really good job representing that, so good job there by GeminiJets. And of course you got the horizontal stabilization and all the applicable details as well. Right side of the aircraft, of course, is complemented by two cargo doors and a little bit better angle there on the engine, which is really nice. Top of the aircraft looks really good. You got some various details, and ultimately it looks fantastic. And the bottom also looks really cool. You do have a GeminiJets logo on this one, a stand hole, and everything one could want there as well. Really good aircraft. This one looks really good. So happy to finally have a JetBlue 220 in the collection. Thank you, GeminiJets. This will be a great asset. Very excited to utilize this in many ways. And we have a grand finale that is one I've been looking very forward to. Let's go ahead and get into it, everybody. Alrighty, everybody. I've been looking very forward to this one, for lack of a better phrase. So excited for this one. This is a really cool one, and I am so excited to have this. So right here, didn't mean to spoil it a little bit. We have the, let me get it across the table, Gemini 200, 1:200 scale, American Airlines Boeing 787-9. Very excited to have this aircraft. The big meaning of it, though, of course, is that I flew this exact same registration. That's going to be November 835 Alpha November from the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport to the Miami International Airport on January 10th, 2023. This is going to be a great way to represent it. I am so excited to have this aircraft in my collection. It is an absolute beauty. And let's go ahead and get into the details. Of course, you got the Gemini 200 on top left. There's the American Airlines billboard titles, the CGI Boeing 787-9, 1:200 scale, item numbers G2AAL1106, and of course, pretty standard Gemini 200 box here. We don't do a crazy amount of Gemini 200 on this channel, but we know enough to what a standard box should look like, and this is no exception to the principle. Of course, in the pamphlet, it is Velcroed, which is really nice. You can see the detail there on the 787-9. Feel free to pause to read that if you'd like to. And of course, you got the aircraft inside with the various landing gear configurations, the stand, everything in between. I got a glimpse of this at Airlines International. It looked phenomenal. I'm so excited to have this one in the fleet. This is going to be a great addition for all the reasons I mentioned and some. And again, really excited to have this in the fleet. Really cool model. It's going to be absolutely awesome, and I'm so excited to have this. So let's go ahead, take it on out of the box and see what it is all about. Okay, here we go. Let me go ahead and rise up the camera here so you can kind of see what we're doing here as we take this out of the plastic / styrofoam. So here's the plastic here on top, pretty standard 1:200 packing, and there it is, my first 1:200 Dreamliner. Comes in the form of American Airlines. Let's take the top layer of plastic off. And even more special to think that I got this in one, or they got the fly on this aircraft and have it both 1:400 and 1:200. I've done this with a couple other models, but it's really exciting to have it on such a special one. Here it is. What a beauty. It's fantastic. Alrighty everybody, and here we go for the Gemini 200, 1 to 200 scale, American Airlines Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. So excited to have this in the fleet. This is literally exactly what I wanted. This is a gorgeous looking airplane. This is going to be a great complement to that 777-300 that I got last year at Airlines International. So we're really excited to have this one. This is an absolute beauty, and I'm really glad to have this one in the fleet. Let's go ahead and get into the details, everybody. Alrighty everybody, so here we go. So here's the cockpit windows along with the nose cone. Really nicely done here in Gemini 200. It looks absolutely amazing. Nose landing gear door. It's just a whole new level of realism here. Of course, it doesn't rotate, but that's okay. It has a bunch of really good detail, and I'll kind of take it out here so you can see the various elements of it here. So as you can see, really nice and done. Really good sizing, and overall just a really good piece of equipment right there. So good job there by GeminiJets for representing that. Here is some panels along here, along with the L1 door, and of course, as you expect, immense detail here from the lever to the hazards to the window and everything in between. A very nicely proportioned One World logo that looks really good. Here's the American Airlines Eagle with the American Airlines Billboard titles. So of course you're going to see here in the front of the aircraft where you have your first class section, which is really nice, and all the other various panel details down here as well. Alrighty everybody, one phone call later, here we go back into this stunning Dreamliner. I just can't stop looking at this. This is amazing. Great panel detail throughout here, and there's the American Airlines Billboard titles that just look as great as ever. How about a clear beacon right there? Was certainly not expecting that. That is a very interesting touch to this model, really unique. So very cool to get to see that right there, along with the first antenna and the Wi-Fi box, which has that little nice shade of tan that looks just amazing into the realism of the real life Dreamliners. Here is the L2 door along with another One World logo, and of course this is where your premium economy starts into economy, which is fantastic. Here's your leading edge light right here, and let me move it up so we can see what we're talking about here, and also tilt the camera down because of how big of a model this is. Here are those beautiful engines right there. They just are absolutely majestic. It was so cool to get to sit to one of them right next to the one on the other side here, even though it was a little bit quiet, but what more could you expect? It is a Dreamliner. Beautiful wing root right there. That is really nicely done. That is just absolutely beautiful. And there are the main landing gear there as well. And of course, the leading edge of the wing also looks fantastic. You can see the little curve up there to represent the Dreamliner. That's really nice. And of course, you got the additional details there, the flaps, slats, and speed brakes, and everything one could want here on this beautiful 1 to 200 offering. Of course, you got the L3 door right there with some great detail. And of course, the rest of the aircraft, nice and simple with a beautiful shade of gray. And then of course you have the next two antennas in the bottom one with the registration November 835 Alpha November. And of course you got that baggage door and the L4 door to complement just a absolutely marquee, beautiful, majestic, standard American Airlines tail. I mean, it is just beautiful. That is perfection. It looks so good. Of course, you got the APU back there as well, along with the great details there with like the door pieces and just everything in between, along with the horizontal stabilizers, and you name it, it's here. Got to get some different angles of this, man. This is a stunner, and I'll definitely do it when I do the video portion of this too on my iPhone for the full recap. Right side of the aircraft, of course, very similar, but you do have the baggage door 1 and the second one right there. Now I'm going to do my best. This is a big aircraft, so apologies in advance if it's not the full airplane, but there is the top of the aircraft. You can see all the various details right there. In the bottom also looks really good. You got the GeminiJets logo, the stand hole, everything one could want. What a cool aircraft. So glad to have this. It's really cool. And the only other big impression that I'm kind of surprised about is it's a little bit lighter than I expected. 333 is pretty heavy. This one is certainly manageable, and after hauling around that 225 and 1-200 for a while, maybe that's why it feels lighter, but certainly a really nice piece right here. This is fantastic. Very glad to have this. How cool is this? Alrighty everybody, and here we go for a full assessment of all these models. Certainly not quite as many as what we're used to, but the quality of the models this time, certainly absolutely outstanding. Starting right here with the Republic Airways Embraer ERJ-175. What a great airplane that is. So excited to finally have that one. And a really solid counterpart here with the Lone Star 1 Southwest 737-700 by Engine Models. They did a great job on that one. Very happy to have it. The JetBlue Airways Airbus A220-300 has been one that I've been after for forever, so I'm so excited to finally have it in the collection. A really pretty plane. And this will be a great complement for various reasons right there. The ITA Airways A330-200 is a beautiful model, and I'm so glad to have this one for the fleet. What a great looker. But anyway, sorry about that. The ITA A330 is a beautiful model, and I'm so glad to have it here in the fleet. Again, politics aside for this one, but the actual airplane of this Trump 757 is a beautiful model, and I'm so glad to have this one in the fleet. And very excited to get my very first B1 in the Dyess Air Force Base iteration right here, and it's an absolute stunner to have here in the fleet. And lastly, another nice big picture look of the beautiful American Airlines 787-9 Dreamliner Gemini 200. Absolute unit. So glad to have this one, especially after flying the exact same registration 835 Alpha November. And coming over here this side, showing you where I sat over there in seat 13L. I'm thinking it was around where that M is or so on the back portion, but it was really cool, and that was just an experience of a lifetime. First ever American Dreamliner, or just Dreamliner in general. Really cool plane. And again, very happy to have it here in my collection today. So with all that being said, everybody, that'll do for today's massive unboxing. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. A bunch of really cool moving pieces, some really high quality models. GeminiJets did a really good job here, and also the NG model that's in here as well. Very excited to have these. In the next massive unboxing will probably be a assorted one, so stay on the lookout for that. That'll be very fun. I hope that you guys have really enjoyed the massive unboxings this summer. We've had a bunch of really good ones, from modern models to retro models to Airlines International hauls, just you name it, it's been here. So it's been really fun. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the frequency uptick on them too. There's certainly been more of them, which has been awesome. So I've really enjoyed them. I hope you guys have as well. But with all that being said, that'll do for today's video, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video and enjoyed Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love and love you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing